Hi, I'm Janine Preston, CEO of Anytime, Anywhere Online Audio Solutions. When I first started in media over 15 years ago, things were very different to what they are today. You needed a large studio with special equipment and a large staff to be able to produce any decent audio solutions. As time went on, technology changed and mobile apps became an everyday solution for most audio recordings. I moved from radio to print media, and earlier this year, 2021, I decided to start podcasting as I missed radio and its instant entertainment. I found a studio nearby which was designed for small podcasters such as myself, and off I went. I found interesting people to interview, and soon I had the opportunity to be a radio presenter on a local radio station. It was an online radio station, and I was hooked. With online, the opportunities, they were endless. And I soon discovered that the people that I had joined were simply FM wannabes and had completely missed the boat. Online radio is just got such a wide audience. I mean, FM is very localized. And the new wave is definitely to go online. So I left the station to investigate how I could go about running my own online station right in the middle of the pandemic. There was no opportunity to learn what was required. So I took a lot of research online and talking to people about how to go about it. There were different segments of people, but nobody could coherently put it together. I learned how to put it all together. I found But and Oddcast was a connection between being heard and my voice going into a microphone. But what if I wanted to play music or do interviews? That's when I discovered Radio Boss and Mix and a whole host of wonderful software that you can use that's generally free. I discovered Audacity, where you could take your audio and mix it up a little, add some music, take out the ums and the ahs and the bits in the middle that had no sound. That's what Audacity was for. And I started to learn how to put this all together. I found a reliable streaming company that was inexpensive, and I learned about limits on listeners, music licenses, and server space. I learned about websites and streaming directories and statistics about how they worked, how that streaming directories connected with you and what they wanted. What was a stream key? What was the difference between being online and being heard? I discovered the power of online audio. I bought an inexpensive USB microphone, and the family bought me a mixer desk for my birthday. I set it up in my bedroom and I was ready. I began streaming on the 1st of June, 2021 to an audience of one, my husband. Soon though, it grew as more and more radio wannabes approached me to work from home. But how could I connect all the dots? How could they work virtually and I work here? Or were they all going to crowd into my bedroom? If I sent them my stream key, would they remember to disconnect on time? What if they didn't disconnect at all? Could I get a new one? What damage could be done if someone undesirable got hold of my stream key? I also found that although Radio Boss was a great medium in which I could list music and recorded shows, there were challenges because the internet wasn't always stable and it was live. It was continuously live. If I left my desk between 10 and 4, who would be there to restart the system? I had a fallover position with Mixcloud and Zeno, but then I had to keep updating the file that was listed with them. So if I forgot the file, you heard last week's stuff or last month's things. So being tied to my desk was turning my dream into a nightmare. And then I discovered Digibro. And today I'm going to show you how Digibro saved my life and changed the way that radio works and allowed me to grow my station rather than be chained to it, and at a far lower cost than I had been paying. So free was no longer something I wanted to use. Welcome back to Digibro. Today I'm going to show you how Digibro saved my life. And yes, so we're going to start with how Digibro, being a world-class digital broadcasting system, can be used for anything, including online radio, audio of any kind. You can record a wedding. You can stream education. You can talk to your drivers when they're out there, teaching them about HR and about new systems, and teach them how to be sellers rather than just delivery guys. So audio can be so much more. And with Digibro, audio has definitely proved to be so much more. So I'm going to log on to Digibro. I have it saved on my panel as Sonic Panel. I can log in as soon as I've logged in. It takes me to my panel where I'm ready to use the panel. So before we go into Digibro, I'm going to show you how I use it on my computer and my online radio station. My online radio station is called Live, Love, Listen, SA Commuter Radio. And you can see this is my website, and I've embedded the single player here where you can see currently we have a podcast, which is Technology with Arthur Goldstruck, playing at the moment. He's playing, and we're learning about phones. So it tells you as well what's playing. I'm going to move back. This is the top of the website where we run the online radio station. And because it's a podcast, I'm able to list podcasts, and I'm able to schedule them in such a way that they work one after the other. And the way that I've scheduled mine is I have a drive on Google Drive where, as you can see here, I have radio. And in my radio, I have a series called Presenters, and all my presenters upload their shows into the Google Drive. So when I'm ready to schedule them for the day, I simply lift them out of there and I schedule them for the day. And you'll see how we're going to schedule that with Sonic Panel. So once we've gone into Sonic Panel and we've logged in, we're now going to show you how Sonic Panel works and why Digibro is so good for not only audio, but for education, for online radio, for so many things that people haven't even begun to think what it could be useful for. You'll see here I have a radio control center that tells me what's happening at the moment. It tells me everything about my system, tells me how many listeners I have. It tells me my account summary. Everything that's going on my radio currently is what's available here. If I want to manage my radio, I can change my password. I can change my stream password, my radio admin password. And this, if somebody asks, for instance, when you're working with your, when you're working together with the international streaming directories, this is the stream that you would share with them. It also gives you the ability to show you what your mount points are, because those are things you're going to need with BUT and Oddcast. When you're streaming out across the airwaves, you need BUT or Oddcast to connect you to the airwaves. And that's only if you're live. While I'm not live, Digibro is that connection for me. It does all of that for me. I don't need Oddcast or any of those while I'm working on the Digibro platform. I can show my live Digibro auto DJ. This is that streaming that you saw on my website. This is the frame key that I used, and I was able to put it and embed it into my website so that people would see my listen button. And that listen button, you'll see how we're going to use it later. The full page player, you've got choices. You can have a rain background, a shark background. You can have a DJ playing depending on the type of music that you have. One of my favorites has to be the rain effects because the background image changes often. And the shark is quite cool, and I'll show you what the shark does. The shark gives you the ability to run your cursor around, and there you can see is also my button that you can see. So if we go to the Sonic Panel, and we have a look, we can go a little bit further. That was the full player widget. The single player widget is what you saw playing, and that's the little, that's the frame key at the bottom, and that's the key that I've uploaded. So my player links, I can listen on any of these. These are all I can listen on Winamp, Media Player, VLC, iTunes. It gives me quite a range of places and things that I can listen to, especially if I'm using an RSS feed. If we move along, that gives you the ability to link your domain to your radio so that the two, when the one is playing, it can see that it's linked to your radio. If we go to our auto DJ, which is what plays in the background, I've created 4 music weeks. So I have music week 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I alternate the music so that my listeners are not listening to the same music all the time. There's a range of music, and I upload between 150 and 200 songs a week, which plays in between the podcasts that I upload. It gives me my interruption settings, and I've said it can be interrupted because, and what it means by interrupted, it can play some of the jingles that I've listed. I want my cover image, because if the MP3 file that comes in doesn't have a cover image, this is my cover image I want to have play. It has all my sponsors on it, and that's what I need them to play. If I move a bit further and I go to my backup cover image, that's if something happens to that file, I have a backup. But so far, I haven't needed a backup. But in fact, you can go and load a backup from something that you might have here. And I would say, let's upload. I've got something here which I can just upload to show you. Let's drag this picture in here. And it's a 600 by 400 picture. And it's called Support SA Commuter Podcasters. So we have a Patreon account where we hope to encourage people to support our podcasters who spend a lot of time putting really good content together. But that's how simple it is to upload a backup. If I want to change my custom cover image, I can simply go and change my custom cover to reflect. So for instance, today we have our one of our sponsors. We'll go and put their logo up so that they've also got a logo on the system. And that always works well when they can see their own logos up on the system. And it plays, of course, all day. So while your show is playing, their logo will play unless one of the podcasts that's playing has an upload of its own. It will automatically play. So we're going to quickly upload a new logo, and you can see their logo. It will change with that one. So that's how simple that is. Jingles are quite cute. The jingles that I have loaded, here's all my adverts that play. And what I've asked it to do was to play one between every 5 songs. So it will automatically play my jingles for my customers every 5 songs. And that's only when the songs are playing. When the podcasts are playing, I will upload an ad before and after, which you'll see now when we create our account. One of the things that I really enjoy about this is that you can send messages to your DJs. You can go and do your voice pro on air. So in other words, I can change my language by going into voice pro. I can say, listen, I'm going to change my voice pro from, I want to go from English to Afrikaans, and it will automatically do the translation for me. I can use the microphone on air, and it allows me to interrupt something and say, breaking news, the man has landed on the moon. And talking about DJs, we can go and create a DJ song, a DJ account. Before I go into the DJ control center, you'll be able to see that we can skip the current song, because I may not like the current song. It may not fit the genre, and one of my DJs might have uploaded it by mistake. I can go in here and skip that song without stopping the whole show. I can create a DJ account. So I might have DJs that are virtual. I have, in fact, got a virtual DJ. His name is Noel. And you can see here, I've created an account for him called RTL SA. It allows him to go and play his own. It allows him to use BUT. It sends him. So let's go and create an auto DJ. Let's call the auto DJ account. Let's give him a name of this demo. We're going to, that password's fine. That's his. So when he logs in, the URL needs to be radio.sacommuter.co.za. And this is where I give him his permissions. He may stream music. He can upload his profile picture, but I'm not going to allow him to start or stop the entire radio station. I'm not going to allow him to play jingles, because he could want to play jingles of his friends. And he can't skip songs that are already placed on the radio. I don't mind if he changes his own password, because I can still control it from here. Can he log into the DJ panel? Yes, obviously I need him to log in, because he's able to then change his picture, etc. Can he start and stop auto DJ? No, he can't. He can go in and he can go out, and he can't use Voice Pro, which means he can't override the main radio stream. And we're going to create that, and you'll see it creates a panel here that allows him the access that he's going to need. So I usually send this copy of screenshot this to the DJ so that he knows when it's his turn to go online. These are his login features. So if you want to, if you are live, like Noel is live in the morning, you will see here, in fact, RTL SA is all of his shows. So I don't have to physically go and record it. the system, Digibro, automatically records it. I download it and I upload it to be used at a later stage. You can see we haven't done our housekeeping for a while. We were testing the system earlier, so I can in fact go and delete that because it's not something I'm going to download. All of these were tests where we were testing to go live from my desk. That was the last show. The first successful show that I did was the other day when I did it live. Besides not being an auto DJ, I was recording all of mine because I was a bit nervous about being live. So there you can see now we're actually going live, which is quite nice. And on the DJ panel custom message, I can send a message here to all my DJs to say, don't forget to log out when your show is over. It could be a birthday message. It could be a breaking news message. You can save those changes, and that message will automatically go to all the DJs when they log in. I can manage my playlists, and playlists are like my podcasts. So they're also playlists of music, but they're also podcasts. So the way that I schedule my music, if we go back, if we go and look at my Google Drive, you will see here, for instance, I have a folder in which I put my scheduling. So I go to where my presenter information folder. I go to my presenters upload schedule. Let's go find my upload, my weekly broadcast schedule. And there it tells you what you can expect to hear when. All the guys that are online know when they have to upload things. So you can see here, I have podcasts, I have times at the top, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Monday through to the weekend. My weekend is slightly different to the week. But you'll see some of the shows we're going to rebroadcast later. So during the day, the eBiz, Noel is at 10 and his broadcast is again at 10 at night. So we need to account for that. So when we go into our playlists, you'll see I've created my playlists according to times. I don't give them show names because the shows could change. So it's important just to note that what you're going to listen to at a specific time. So with today being Tuesday, we've got different shows at different times. I'm on at 4 o'clock today. So that's why it's not listed here, because my show is live at 4 o'clock. But let's say a Wednesday at 6 o'clock. It's usually inside Europe with Deutsche Welle. But I know this was last week's, so I can simply go in and I delete this podcast. I say delete, and I go and upload the latest one. And I'll just quickly upload something that I have on record, which is not necessarily Deutsche Welle, but it's short and sweet and to the point. It's the daily news that we upload, and I'll upload the daily news into that slot for now. It now uploads the daily news and gives us an opportunity to actually playlist the news. And I can do it. I can playlist up to 2-3 weeks in advance, which is fabulous. Because if I'm due to go away, I can schedule my radio station. I can schedule what I want my drivers to listen to. That's why I keep going back to audio is not necessarily radio. Audio can be anything you want it to be. You can see here there's an ability for it to, it tells you how far the upload is. Once it's finished, it's about a half an hour show. Once it's finished, we can change the metadata that appears on the streaming, which is what you could see here, where it says Elvis Presley in the ghetto, and that's what song is playing right now. And you'll see it exactly what we're going to type for the news is exactly what will play. If you remember, we uploaded the new custom logo to play on the play button, and there's the custom logo. So whoever's got your play button around the world, whatever website is carrying your play button, it will carry whatever your latest custom image is. If we go back to Sonic Panel, you'll see that it's finished. I'll say close. And at this point, I'm going to edit. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to say the new metadata for this is the news at 12/17 August 2021. And I'm going to say it's a Deutsche Welle news because that's where we get our news from, Deutsche Welle. So we give them the thanks for that by giving them credit. And now it comes time to schedule it. So we need to go and schedule it. So it says, okay, you were Wednesday at 6. Let's go to Wednesday at 6. There's our Wednesday at 6. We're going to select a standard schedule. We're going to select tomorrow's date. And I will be changing this a bit later, by the way. It's just so that I've got it for the demo. I go along to 6 a.m. You can see it in 5-minute segments. So you can always start things 5 minutes later. I often start shows 5 minutes later to give a bit of music between shows. I don't want it to repeat weekly, but you can repeat the show every day or every week. You have got an end time, so you can, in fact, say this show's got to end at 8 o'clock because that's when the news is going to begin. You've got your interruption settings and your play in order. You can upload more than one MP3 in a playlist, so you can tell it to play it in order just in case you forget to put part 1 instead of part 2 correctly. Now it says, do you want to play an advert? Yes, I do, actually. I want to play the Cambry Learn spot ad. And I want to force it to play eBiz Radio because that's going to come on at 12 o'clock. And in fact, let's go and put RTL Radio because they play at 10 o'clock. And this show is scheduled before they're due to go on. And we create. Now, if we go and have a look at the scheduled list, there's our scheduled list. So now you can see what's been scheduled. I've been scheduling for today. So you can see Tuesday at 3, Tuesday at 6. RTL is for, it's going to be replayed on Sunday. And of course, we have the webcam as well. There's our RTL for the 22nd of August because we've scheduled it to play at that time. Here it tells you what's the startup jingle and what's the end jingle. In the beginning, with RTL, he didn't schedule one. When it's finished and it's been completed, I press delete and I remove it from the server. I can go and have a look at how is my music for my playlist, and I'll go all the way down and I'll see their music one is active. And these are all the songs that will play during that time. So I've basically put it into some sort of order, but I don't mind if it plays parlotones one after the other. Sometimes we mix it up. It just depends on how we do the playlist. But that's a choice you can make. You upload your songs as it works for you, and you can, of course, use the music library as well. The statistics, this is where we go and have a look at the statistics of how we've done. It shows you all the different stats from how much disk usage you've got, how much memory usage, and the new upgrade will give us stats that we can download in a bar graph format. We're expecting that upgrade it's imminent. It's within the next couple of days. It tells me how much hard disk space I've used of my allocation. It tells me who's using it, like how Mondays, Tuesdays, where is it most being used. But because I replace it every week, I replace it. That 30 megabytes on Tuesday at 7 a.m. will be 30 megabytes next week because I'll delete what's in the 30 megabyte file and re-upload. I can have a look at my graphical user interface of how many listeners I had today. I can have a look at my radio stats, which are live, and it tells me what's currently happening. And then, of course, I have radio listeners with Google Maps, which will tell me where in the world my listeners come from. And there you can see it comes from United Kingdom. And I need to set up my screen for that because I haven't used it for ages. And I can view my bandwidth usage. I can manage my account by changing my login password. I can update my contact email. I can change my Google Maps API key, and I can change my language from English to Afrikaans to wherever I wish. I can change and upgrade my account package with permission of my hosting provider. And I can download my log files, which tells me where things have gone wrong. I also have obviously all the help files at the bottom. So if you have a look, this is where you would find this is how Digibro will all work. And this is how come I can have my radio to look the way it does. And this is how it looks. Elvis Presley is obviously playing. He died yesterday, so it's his time to play music. And you can see here on my website, I put what's on today. I put what's each of my days have got, so that when people need to see what's going to be on today, they can log into Tuesday. And on Tuesdays, I have listed what programs are on in my, and I also have another play button, because I tend to find that having my play button in as many places as possible definitely helps to broadcast my music. Here you can see all of my times, what you can hear at each time. And then if you click on one of these, it will take you to more information about that particular program. So if you want to go and have a look at Adventures of Janine and Bodie, it will take you to the next level and tell you what's going to happen. So I'm Janine Preston, and of course you've been watching Digibro, and I just know that it's going to be something that you're going to want to do. If you go to Xactavent.digibro.net, you can choose your package, and we even offer you a trial. So you can have a trial for a few days. I will also set up a website for you. We give you a trial website based on my SA Commuter website. We currently have a trial running with one of our youngsters in the village in Limpopo, and his name is Matoli FM Justice, and we've been helping him to get going, and we carry his logo on our website, so you can also go through and listen to him and enjoy what he has to offer. So it helps him to grow. We do the same for all of our people who trial. This is a page that we created for him so that you can listen to his music as well. And that was something we created for him. So you have a live listen button. We give you the opportunity to obviously go and get started with your trial. We also can teach you on Anytime, www.anytimemedia.co.za. Will also give you the opportunity to choose what audio options, what options we offer in terms of audio usage, how your business can thrive, and what we can offer you in terms of being able to broadcast and advertise across many stations. Because we collaborate with other radio stations, we're also able to offer advertising across radio stations, because collaboration is really something we give our, for instance, with RTL, we give them an auto DJ. The same with other stations that we collaborate with, we give them an auto DJ so that they're able to start that on their own. So by all means, go and visit www.anytimemedia.co.za, or go straight to where you can register for a free trial. All our trials end every month on the 25th. Those of you that go forward with us, are we able to bill and start on the 30th of August, on the 30th of the month. And if you decide to take a trial, you get as many days leading up to the 25th. So if you go with your trial from the 1st of the month, you get 25 days trial. I mean, who else? And there's no credit card. There's no, you don't need to offer, there's no credit card required. I set up a trial website for you with your listen buttons so that you can go and play. Because I mean, the whole idea is that you need to play. If you need to get hold of me, I'm Janine, Genine, at anytimemedia.co.za. And thank you for joining me.